does contain nuts. I looked at the screen and you just nodding at me, and then I didn't really understand what it meant. Anyway, go on, Phil. Phil, start. Do the intro. Does contain nuts. Here we are. It's the podcast that grabs life by the balls. I'm Phil Highlands. That guy there is Lee Hogarth, joining me again. Joining me. I said that last time, didn't I? And I felt bad for saying joining me. It's our podcast. Sorry, man. My bad. Doesn't matter. You do all the talking.
Just, anyway. Do you know what it is? I let you do the fucking intro, and then you steal the show.
I steal it. Well, the price you pay, mate.
You give someone an inch, you take a mile every fucking time.
Correct. Price you pay, I'm afraid, for such a quality sounding intro. Anyway, how you doing, my man? What's going on? What's happening? What's the crack?
I'm fucking good, mate. I'm very good. I haven't been though over the past week. I felt a bit poo, to be honest. I have been, actually, you don't know this, I've been playing around with some stuff like...
yourself?
No, not since last week. But I've been playing around with some stuff, and it's kind of works, but then something kind of didn't. So obviously we do a lot about breathing, right? We talk a lot about breathing and stuff like that. I've been doing my own research and own investigations, right? Because I'll tell you why. So if I get stressed, I don't know if you get this yourself. If I get stressed or if I'm feeling a bit shit, I get all lockjaw. I grip my teeth. You got one of those guards as well, haven't you?
Yeah.
The teeth guards to protect your teeth. So I'm putting it in, right? And I'm fucking like, I shouldn't even need this guard. Why the hell am I gritting my teeth? And it's always when I'm feeling a bit stressed maybe, or I've been doing a little bit too much. So I keep locking my jaw, and I notice, especially even on a morning when I'm in the shower, I try and have like a mindfulness shower, and I'm locking my jaw. I know it's a cold shower, but that doesn't necessarily mean I need to lock my jaw, right? And I'm locking my jaw, and I keep noticing that when I'm stressed, I lock my jaw. So I wanted to find out why, right? And I wanted to figure out, is there a fucking generic thing here? Why? So I started looking into breathing and stuff like that. That kind of stemmed us from there, because what happens, right? Now, you're going to be fascinated by this, because I know you're the same as me. So I'm locking my jaw, right? Well, this is a theory. People might have other fucking theories, but this is what I've found out and sits true with me. I'm locking my jaw, right? Because our body, right, likes to breathe through the nose. Okay, I'm going to shorten this down a bit. Our body likes to breathe through the nose. There's loads of benefits from breathing in and out of the nose. Using the nose as a filter and as a kind of party shooter to get the air all the way down to your lungs and back up. And as you breathe back out your nose, you're cleaning out the filter. So you have a self-cleaning filter, right? Now, did you know that each nostril has its own kind of thing? So if I breathe in through my left nostril, don't quote us on this because I'm on the spur of the moment, it might be the wrong way around, but see, I breathe through my left nostril, the right side of the brain controls the left, which controls the right lung. Now, if I breathe through my left nostril, that activates parasympathetic nervous system. Okay? Now, vice versa, if I breathe through my right nostril, my left side controls my right nostril, and then vice versa to the left lung. Okay? Now, that's how it kind of flows and how it works and what activates. Now, the reason we have two nostrils, right, is because they counterbalance each other. So our nose is actually managing our state. So when you get a cold, what you'll notice and find is that your right nostril will bung up faster than your left nostril, because your body is automatically trying to give you an alarm and tell you to sit down and recover. Okay, so how amazing is that? No, go on, I'll let you.
So is that why? So two things. First of all, I know there's been a lot of breath work is big right now, and I'm quite into it as well. But I don't know why, but clearly this is why they do. There are yoga classes where you do that thing where you breathe in through one nostril and then the other one, and you kind of got to do it single side.
So that'll balance the systems.
Yeah. And the other thing is, so is that why then when you've got a cold? Because when you've got one nostril bunged up, it is the most annoying thing. Yeah. But the one that's not bunged up, you breathe through it all the time, and it burns, doesn't it?
Yeah. Now, there's two reasons for that. One is the reason I mentioned earlier. So obviously it's shit as well, right? It's shit and it's fucking sinuses, it's snots and all that shit as well. But another reason for this in the background, which is working in the automatic background of our systems, is if you are in the need of energy, it'll shift over the other side. It'll activate your sympathetic and give you the energy that you need whilst you're obviously recovering, and vice versa. it'll make you a bit more tired, it'll make you more groggy, it'll make you more relaxed so that you can recover. So it does that. So if you're one of the listeners and you struggle with sleeping, what you can actually do is you can block your right nostril, breathe for 60 seconds through your left nostril, and I'll see you in the morning. And it does work. It does in fact work, right? Obviously, don't breathe as heavy as you, just nice soft breaths in and out that nostril. But so what I've found is, right, my body, right, is forcing me to lock my jaw because I'm stressed, so I get better oxygen and so it can regulate me stress through my nose.
Is that why?
If I'm breathing through my mouth, there's no regulation there. I'm breathing in loads of shit. I've got no filter work happening. And when you breathe through your mouth, it only takes you down to 3/4 of your lungs. So you end up with this stagnant water pond-like shit at the bottom of your lungs, what makes you feel crap. Okay. So that's why, and also when people breathe through the mouth, they also tend to hyperventilate without noticing. Because you're having shallower breaths, you end up having faster breaths. And most people on average in the UK and America are having roughly about 25 breaths a minute, right? Now, I know when I'm on peak form, I am in round about 12 breaths a minute, so I'm quite good. I'm not really hyperventilating. But that's what is happening anyway. It should shut my mouth, shut my jaw up, so I utilize my nose and it can utilize me systems and make us feel better. It can activate the parasympathetic a lot better so that I can start to reduce stress, get out of that fight or flight. How fucking amazing is that?
Fascinating, mate. Yeah, that absolutely is fascinating. Amazing. I didn't know that.
Now, this leads me on to what I've been doing, right? So when I've been doing my walks, I always have my walks, right? I do my daily walks, and I was like, all right, so if that's the case and breathing through your nose is so good, I'm going to fucking give this a bash and do mindfulness walks, right? So breathe only through your nose. Keep your mouth shut the entire time. At first, I'm like, I'm hyperventilating through my nose. I'm like, it's very weird for me. And it was quite uncomfortable. But then before I knew it, I was so relaxed, so present, so in the moment on my walk. It was absolutely unbelievable. The stuff that you see and notice, it makes you so much more present as well. Yeah. So it calms your state, makes you so much more present, and you get the benefits of the walk, etc. And also there's loads of crazy things like it actually opens up the bone structure in your face so that everything adapts to it. There's like loads, you can go crazy deep on all of that. But it opens and changes all of your structure in your face so that the air flows better and things like that. But which leads me on to the next thing. Obviously, I like to try things all in, right? So I'm thinking, I remember, I'm sure it was Nick Littlehale's book where he talks about sleep tape. With sleep tape.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm taping my fucking mouth up. If I'm getting that benefit from the walk, right? If I'm getting that benefit from the walk,
oh my God,
I'm going to train my nose and clear because I've got a broken nose, right? So one side's more blocked than the other. Now that there is obviously going to be affecting my state a hell of a lot. So I'm thinking if I've got 7-8 hours kip, that's 7-8 hours opening up my fucking thorax or whatever it is, clearing everything out, party shooting the good oxygen and all that in. Happy days. I'm training when I'm asleep, which is obviously the idea of the sleep tape, right?
Yeah.
So I look up and I'm like trying to find the sleep tape. Then everyone said just use 3M tape, like masking tape. So I went to B&Q, got some of that, taped my fucking mouth up. Catherine is like, we just spoke about this on this podcast.
I know. I was just going to say that.
We just spoke about this crazy shit in the podcast. Now, this is the most extreme thing that you're doing. She's shitting her pants because she thinks I'm a suffocating dying.
I know. And also, not only that, mate, if she wakes up in the middle of the night, looks round and she's got you lying next to her with a taped up mouth, lavender all over you.
The tape's fucking blue fucking like inch tape, right?
And what happened?
So I put it on, right? Now, mate, I track my sleep, right? I've been hitting some deep levels of sleep. And I kidding, like...
With your mouth taped up?
Yeah. My deep sleep's normally, like, I normally drop in there and back out. I got my cycles really good, like averaging 90 to 100% sleep. So I wasn't really going to touch it, right? But then there's that group that we're in, they started talking about it. I was already researching it, and then it was like loads of different things. So I was like, I'm trying it. But I noticed, right, that me levels and time and duration under deep sleep was way longer. To the point that one of my nights, my deep sleep was 4 hours.
Oh,
but that's not good though. That's not good because you got to do your cycles, right? Now here's the other thing that's not good. I think, right, and I don't know, but I think, and I'm and only assume this, right? When I'm taping my mouth up, my body is picking up that there's something wrong, and it's in kind of a tense mode.
well, I was going to say
Right?
that because, yeah.
So when I've been asleep, right, I've been having the most horrific fucking nightmares, mate.
Didn't you tell me the other day? What was that one? In fact, you said you left me a message the other day about some nightmare that you were aware of but couldn't escape. Was it something like that? I'm sure it was.
Possibly that one. Oh, it's my doorbell.
Oh, Jesus.
Catherine, can you get that? So I'm having these nightmares, right? And they're just so fucking deep. And like you say, I can't get out. Now, that other one, that 4-hour one, mate, it had me fucking stuck. Like, I was nowhere near waking up or anything like that. But I'm going to have to get that.
Yeah, go get it, mate. No worries. No worries. It's interesting, though, isn't it? I'll keep talking. I'll keep yapping away while he's gone to answer his door. Sleep is a massive, massive big deal. And if there's anyone listening to this right now who struggles with energy, who struggles with a bit of any kind of mental issue where you're not quite feeling how you want to, one of the first things that I would tell anyone in my program, Lee, you'll agree with this, sleep, man. Innit? Lack of sleep can just bugger people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sleep is absolutely
100%,
vital.
man. Yeah. Anyway,
Absolutely
carry
vital.
on. So 4 hours, you're in this dream.
Yeah, like it was around that. I woke up at 3 o'clock, and I remember. But do you know what had is?
Yeah, no.
It wasn't like normally it's like ghosts or monsters or something like that, right?
Right, yeah. What's it called? Would you say? Do I know what is?
Like what had is like had his fucking trap. What the nightmare was about.
Right.
What had his to grips and had his pinned down essentially. Had a hold of his.
I thought you were. I thought. Do you know? I don't know what had is. As if had was like something.
No.
Geordie.
Hi, Geordie. It was frequency, mate.
Right.
And as you know, you can't escape fucking frequency, can you?
Yeah, no.
I was fitting my cameras that day, and I was having the right nightmare with the internet. So I think it's been an influence. And frequency was just fucking screaming through my head, and I couldn't get rid of it. I was hearing loads of funky stuff in that.
Jesus.
But it was chasing us, so it was going through my body, and it was horrible, mate. When I woke up at that 3 o'clock, I was scared to get out of bed. So when you're fucking petrified to get out of bed, and I felt my body. And I'm looking around the room for this frequency, which obviously you can't see.
No, that's a horrible thing.
I was like, yeah, I'm going to have a gone to the window and get some fresh air. And I'm like, I'd done the Mel Robbins 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, dived out of bed, ran out of the window, and I'm like looking out the window. And I tell you what, mate, for a split second, this frequency had us, and I was looking, I was like, well, I just jump.
Oh, what?
Swear to God, mate.
What?
I fucking shit myself. And then after that, I looked down towards the cameras I just fitted, and I had a feeling it was looking at us and that. Mate, I was fully absorbed in this. I was absorbed in this nightmare. Catherine woke up. She was like, Lee, you're all right? Lee, all right? And I was like, oh yeah, I'm just getting some fresh air and that. I got straight to bed and ripped that fucking tape off faster than you.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Mate, that is horrible.
I know, mate. It wasn't nice, like. And I can only and now since I've stopped it, like that's not happening again. And I sleep sweet as a nut.
That's mental, mate.
There's so many benefits about it, but that there's obviously a negative to it, and I don't know whether that was just me or what, but need more sleep tape for me.
Well, we were talking the other day. What's that thing we were talking about? Where you can teach yourself to leave your body at night.
I like transcendence.
Yeah, what was there was a word for where you can leave your own body. Train yourself. What is it? I can't remember what it is now. Anyway, yeah,
I know what you're on about.
Opening and you're going to bed and you're training yourself to learn, and apparently it is a thing to leave your own body at night.
Yeah,
and that is a scary, scary thought. And then you Google it, and I was researching it, thinking this is interesting. I want to learn more. When you hear stories of people leaving their body, looking back at themselves, but not being able to get back. Fuck that, mate. That is.
Isn't that what it is? Isn't it transcendence?
Nah, it's. Hang on,
No,
I'm gonna have to Google it now.
That's go on. You better Google it better.
I'm gonna have a look.
But,
go on.
but that's what happened anyway, and obviously, like the impact of those dreams and that in my sleep and in my daytime was obviously a negative one.
Yeah. Astral projection.
I felt that's the one. That's the
astral projection.
But I felt terrible from it, and I've still been kind of working on a backlash of it a little bit.
I was going to say, yeah,
but now I'm feeling like I'm back to normal now, like.
Yeah.
But it was a good, like, I think it was 3 days. I think I done with the tape.
Yeah.
But it's surprising, like you're out like a light straight away. There's no like panic there. There's no.
I tell you what's interesting about that, and this is something that I've changed my view on a bit as the older I get, is you just try these things. Do you know what I mean? You just try them out. It's like you research something, and I've been very good in the past at just slating stuff and going, "Oh, what a load of bollocks. That's not going to do anything. There's no science. There's no some things there are, some things there aren't." But it's like that doesn't make sense to me, so I'm not even going to bother trying it. You know? But it's like, well, actually, hold on a second. Why don't you just try it and see what happens? And it might do something like that. Taping your mouth up might do nothing, but it might do something.
Look at all that in deep sleep.
Yeah, that's nuts, isn't it?
That is fucking. That's a long time, isn't it?
Do you want that app, right? So do you use the noise function or the movement function to track your sleep, or does that connect to your watch? Because you can have it on. You can have it next. You put it next to your bed, don't you? And you have it either monitor movement or monitor sound.
Sound.
Because I used it the other day with sound.
Also,
it didn't work.
The sound one, right? Also the sound. I was snoring with my mouth as well.
Yeah. Have you got that?
With me nose, sorry.
Can you record your sounds on that? Or is that the paid version? So you got a deal on that app, didn't you?
It's run out now though. It's just run out just the other day.
Yeah.
Where's this? 1 minute of snoring. I never ever know. Oh, it's not gonna let us play it though.
No, right, yeah.
But I never ever snore, and I was snoring obviously through my nose.
Mad, isn't it? Well, mad that you've got a broken nose and you don't snore. I just presumed that would be like part and parcel.
Yeah. It's probably more on the back.
Yeah.
Mate, I had to get, obviously I've got this bad ear, and I had to get a camera out, that camera thing up my nose.
Oh God.
And they went up one side, R8, and then it went obviously the next side. He said, "I've got to get up that side now. Like, I need to see that side." And mate, he was banging it. It was like,
oh God,
like banging your head on the ceiling or something. It was just like yeah, just banging. And he says, "Mate, it's going to go up. It's okay." And he's putting more of this like lube stuff on.
Oh man!
And then he's like pushing my head back, and then he just rammed it.
Jesus!
It was so uncomfortable.
Mate, I had a tooth.
Pulling out was the worst.
Yeah, I bet it was.
Like it was like, and I like
yeah. Yeah, when I had my knee reconstructed, a ligament reconstructed when I was younger, all fine, all good. The worst pain was when they took out about a 6-inch tube that was like to drain the knee out.
Yeah.
And that was just left in there. And as they took it out, it was just, I can't even tell you. It wasn't pain. It was just like the feeling was just like, I just pulled it out. Mate. I had a tooth taken out as well once, and it wasn't, I think he took it out and it wasn't really quite ready to be taken out, like a wisdom tooth. And he was like, "Mate, I'm not being funny. You're going to have to help me here." So he was with pliers pulling one way, and I had to go the other way. He said, pull your head the opposite way to the pliers. I'm like, oh my God. It was horrendous. Horrible. I hate the dentist. Yes, that was not nice. That weren't nice.
Shit the bed.
Anyway, yeah. There you go.
So that's my experience of
dreams are fascinating.
That's been what I've been up to, like.
Yeah,
I'm glad it's bloody over though. Bloody.
Mate,
I'm going to continue though. I'm going to continue to do the walks, because I am seeing benefits from the walks, and it is nice.
Good idea.
Just less tape in my mouth up before I go to bed. Catherine's mum actually came, was it yesterday or the day before, and I've just got it sitting on my drawers. Catherine, her mum come in and went, she looked at her, like give her the face to say like, "You kinky bugger." She's like, "It's not mine, it's Lee's." And she's like looking at her now to think, what? So he's taping you up?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
And then just like, no, he's been taping his mouth up.
which seems even weirder. That seems even weirder. He's taping it. He goes to bed with his own mouth taped up.
Literally, no one's surprised now with like the shit I do.
Well, no, I know. It's like your missus said in the podcast last week, didn't she? There was such a funny thing that she said, and it was something about, you know, it's not what else can he do? It's what more can he do? I'm literally not surprised by anything he does anymore.
She was like, you better mention that in that podcast this day. This is absolutely horrendous. Don't go taping your bloody mouth up, man. Who on earth does that shit?
Yeah, that's a weird thing to do, mate.
So that's my views on it anyway. I'll not be doing it anytime soon.
No. Don't blame you. Anyway, what are we talking about today then?
Well, I've got a question for you, to be fair.
Go on,
because normally we start with a shit sandwich, but sometimes they go on a bit long. So what we're going to do is we're going to do some like what ifs and
go on.
And kind of some questions and just questions to kick it off.
Yeah.
Just so people can get to know us a little bit better, right? So what I want to know today is, what is your favorite all-time film and why?
That's a really hard. That's like saying, what's been the best day of your entire life? It's quite hard.
The thing is, I pick these questions, so I've already got my answer.
Exactly, and I haven't. However, one of my, I don't know I can pick an all-time one, but one of them, and this will surprise you and everyone, is Pitch Perfect. Yes, the one about the girls who sing with Fat Amy in it, because that is in fact, that one.
She's hilarious, isn't she?
She's so funny. That one, 1, 2, and 3 are absolute bangers, I reckon, and they're good. And why is it my favourite? It's just funny, man. It's easy to watch. I don't have to think. I don't like films where. Do you remember Ronin? Was it Ronin? I think I was at uni and watched Ronin about 5 times and still didn't really understand it. But
like things like that, Shutter Island, and
where you just got to like think about it and just think, I don't know, it's just boggling. I can't be asked. When I sit down and watch TV, I just want to watch something that makes me
be entertained.
Yeah,
entertained, not involved.
I don't have to decipher it.
Oh, there's a one.
Oh, what?
Be entertained, not involved.
Be entertained.
I just like that.
Good one.
Like it.
So yeah, Pitch Perfect, and also there's another one which is called About Time. Have you seen that? It's a bit Love Actually like, right?
I like cheesy chick flicks.
So do I, mate. So do I. They're easy to.
Catherine's more like she likes more things like Hellraiser and people getting their heads chopped off and stuff like that. I'm like, what are you scaring us for?
Yeah. What did I watch the other day? I watched Mulan. Is it Mulan?
Ah, yeah, I like
all that kind of stuff. Yeah. I like
Moana.
I haven't seen that one. That's The Rock.
Oh, mate, it is absolutely mint.
Yeah. I haven't seen that. But all of that, all those like Toy Stories and Nemo and all that business, I just find them easy to watch and they're good.
Oh, bless you, man.
Bless me, eh? But then also, let's bring it back and make me a bit more manly. Things like Goodfellas and, do you know what I mean? Things like gangstery films, old De Niro and all that.
Catherine had one on just the other day, and what one was it? I can't remember what one it was, but I was really enjoying it. Like,
I watched the other day, Training Day. I get for the first.
That's good.
That's a good film. Yeah. Also, I was talking to someone else about this one, Last Boy Scout. Have you seen that with Bruce Willis? And it begins on an American football pitch, and he's running up. This guy's running at him, and he just this American football player just pulls a gun out of his suit, out of his thing, and on the pitch in front of everyone goes, "Ain't like a bitch," and just blows his brains out through his helmet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
I remember when I was a kid, I used to love a film. I can't remember what it's called now. I think it's Field of Dreams or something like that.
Field of Dreams. The one
it was.
The baseball one.
I suppose that what it is. Where they're like all the ghosts and they go off the crop field.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch that again.
Field of Dreams is a banger. Yeah.
And the pen's coming out like.
Yeah, that's a good one.
My favorite film of all time. And I've got both books, but I haven't even read them. I've read one actually. But I got out to read it twice, and I haven't got around to it. Hurricane, Reuben Carter, the boxer.
Oh right, yeah.
Have you seen it or not?
No, I haven't seen it. No.
Have you heard the song? What's that hippie dude called? I'm not remembering names today. Like, in the land of the hurricane. I can't remember now.
That sounds like. With the Hurricanes. Do you remember that one? There's a cartoon about a football team.
No, it's not that one.
I wonder if there's any. singing
It's
talents
about
out there.
it's about a boxer. True story, Ruben Carter, and he got locked. He's like a world champion, and he got locked up for like a racially, like, you know, when the police are all corrupt and that.
Yeah, yeah.
They kind of framed him. That's the one, and he got sent like to the rest of his life in prison or whatever. He spent crazy amount of years in prison,
Right.
but he inside he's like he wouldn't allow. He wouldn't become part of the system. He refused to be part of the system,
Yeah.
and he'd done his own thing. He got put down the hole for donkeys. He wouldn't wear the uniform, all of this stuff. And he wrote a book while he was in there. But also he was training like an absolute beast in there. And he was like doing his press ups. He was punching into his mattress and all that. And that film actually was the film that got me first into training, like full stop.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what kind of inspired
What's it called? Hurricane.
Hurricane, mate, it is mint. He like, obviously he gets freed and all of that, and there's a big story behind it. But it's absolutely brilliant, mate. Absolutely class.
Sounds good.
So there you go. That's mine.
Good.
Very, very basic film, but that flows and lies in with what we're doing today.
Basic is where it's at.
We are talking about basics. What were you telling me about basics before we come on again?
Basics are where it's at, mate. Basics are what people get wrong. And it's funny because the basics are the easiest things to not get wrong. Basics are, and fundamentals are what everyone needs to nail down. And they don't nail it down because they want to get to the interesting, supposedly interesting, more exciting, more complicated stuff. Because us humans all think more complicated equals more results when it doesn't.
I.e., don't tape your mouth up before you go to bed.
Don't take your mouth up. No, there's many.
Just stick to the basics. Shut your eyes.
Shut your eyes.
And wait.
Shut your eyes and wait.
Just
shut your eyes and wait. That's a much better tactic than taping your fucking face up, man. But anyway, basics in the realms of anything, fitness, like losing weight, like learning to control your emotions a bit more. Anything, you've got to learn the basics first and master them and do them regularly and consistency. And people don't do that because people don't realize that basics are where it's at. There was a guy I know, really good personal trainer. We're going to try and get him on the podcast actually because he was a bloke I was telling you about earlier. And he used to just make clients do deadlifts, squats, much like me really, and you as well, and just push this heavy prowler across the gym all the time. But that worked. And other trainers and people would look and go, oh, it does the same thing all the time. Does that matter though if you're getting results? Of course it doesn't.
Yeah.
We're all here to get the same result, to get the result, right? And if it works, why not do it? But people think basic doesn't work and simple doesn't work when it does. It's the only thing that does work, or the best thing that does work to get you where you want to go quickly and efficiently.
They're kind of like the fundamental laws, aren't they? When you say the basics, it's kind of like the fundamental laws. Like do these fundamental laws, and then anything else is a bonus. But then, like you say, they do get as you go a little bit deeper, they kind of swap positions, don't they? They're like you end up doing the deep shit, but then you do a basic thing for extra.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. But really, the basics are like the glue, aren't they? They're like the cement to a building.
It is.
The bricks are never going to stay up if there's no cement in between them.
No, they're not. And if the foundation's below
you can't
the bricks,
you can't just cement the first 4 or 5 rows of bricks and then just start balancing them, because eventually shit's going to fall down. You've got to keep using the cement, keep using the basics, keep adapting the basics. And
the foundations that are under the bricks are what provides the support and the structure, and the foundations come from the basic stuff. Do you know what I mean?
So what is the basics?
Yeah.
What are the basics in your terms?
In my term, it depends where you're heading, where you want to head, doesn't it, really? But I think the basics for me, well, I'll list them out. These are what I think
we'll talk about, so we'll work through the settings, right? We'll work through them. So we'll go body. What's the basics when it comes to your body?
Move every single day. You don't have to train. You don't have to pump iron in the gym, but do some kind of moving every single day. Keep your blood flowing, right? Yeah. I think I'll go into it in a bit more detail. I think everyone should do some kind of mobility work, right? Even if it's just twisting around and moving your shoulders around. You know, I think everyone should do some kind of mobility work at some point in the week. Everyone should have a basic level of strength, right? And everyone should get steps in. That's what I think everyone should do on some level. And I don't mean going, as I said, train in the gym like a nutter every single day, but just here and there, a few times a week, maybe do some body weight stuff, press ups and sit ups and pull ups and whatever. Just do something that's not just running the whole time. So I think everyone should do that. I think everyone should pay attention to what goes in, water, decent food as well. But when I say decent food, again, people hear that and think, oh, I've just got to eat chicken and broccoli and just eat vegetables the whole time. But it's not that. I would class eating donuts and chocolate and all of that in the umbrella of decent food. But just don't go mad on it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And this is basic. This is what we're talking about. Basic stuff.
Yeah, balance,
isn't it? And it's you know, and I think people make the mistake of thinking that to get the body they need, you have to live off vegetables and you have to exercise every single day and everything. You don't need to do that at all.
No,
because that takes the fun away from life, and that then impinges on mental health, which we'll come on to in a minute.
Yeah. Do you know something I picked up on there? Where you said about mobility, and it's funny you say that because with me one-to-one client, would have been last Thursday. I was talking to Grace, and I don't know what got us on there. What got us talking about this, but you noticed like people don't. Oh, she was talking about a kid. Actually, she was telling us a story about a kid, and how she gets out of bed and she's like, just stretching like for a big old stretch. And I went, shit. I went, have you noticed? I went, we don't do that. I says, I don't get out of bed now and have this big massive stretch unless I've kind of woke up without an alarm and I've had a lie in and I need that stretch. But really, that's our natural body. That's our body say, like it's saying like, this is what we do. This is what we need. When we wake up, we need a nice stretch. We need to loosen up. We need to create some space. Yeah. And we don't do that now, do we? We don't, like as humans, we don't, when we wake up, the alarm goes, right? We're so absorbed in what have I got to do? We'll just dive up out of bed, either turning the alarm off, or we're getting out of bed to go to the toilet, or we're getting out of bed to go to work, we're getting out of bed to check with Facebook, we're getting out of bed we're getting out of bed to do all of these things that we miss. The one of the most fundamental things, like you see it in all films, you see it in all education kind of things, and it's a natural thing that happens, just to sit up in your bed, and first thing you do, just
stretch.
And loosen up that back, loosen up your spine, and then get up. Like, not doing any of these cat-cow poses or any of that, but the natural thing, isn't just it? Anything. Like, if a kid was acting about getting out of bed, what would he do for charade? Do we get up and he would go, oh, wouldn't it? Like, But all kids do it. If we wake Eva up, she does it. And that again is one of those basic things that we've lost. A lot of parents who are listening, they probably getting up to get the kids up. And they forget a stretch,
and it's getting up. It's getting up, and it's getting straight into that high brainwave frequency state, getting into the stressed out state.
0 to 100.
Yeah, exactly. And even if you don't have time or you can't in the morning, get up and do some of the things that we promote. Right, at the very least, get up and just give yourself a few minutes in bed, just to wake up, stretch, and get yourself ready before you kind of jump into the hellhole that is most people's lives.
I just loosen your body before you get tense. Now I'm saying that again, like I don't do it either.
No, I'm the same, and also I'll go go back to what I said, mate, saying about how we should all do some kind of strength and mobility. I know this is for sort of optimal health, right? Optimal health and happiness and everything else. Doesn't mean you have to do it. I know loads of people that don't do any of that at all. It doesn't mean that, but that's cool. That's all good. It's just when you for optimal health, then these are the things that I think you should add in. And there's times when I don't do all of these things as well. I think people sometimes look at people like us and think we just we live in the gym, we live off vegetables and bloody broccoli and chicken and that, and we live to the what someone would call letter. If you was reading the book of How to Be Healthy, do you know what I mean? I don't do that. I know you don't live like that. I don't live like that. No. I couldn't live like that. I don't want to live like that.
That's not even living.
It's not living. Yeah, you're right. It's existing. I don't want to exist like that. Horrible. Yeah. So,
if anything, I live on ice cream.
There you go. Yeah, and cocoa. What do you have for breakfast? You have cocoa pots, don't you?
No, I have Cheerios with
Cheerios, there you go.
10 scoops of vanilla yogurt.
10. Oh, right. Sorry. I thought you was going to say protein then. Jesus
No,
Christ.
10 scoops of vanilla yogurt, um, Cheerios, and then down the middle, I put a layer of berries. So it
Ooh,
could be
down the middle,
raspberries,
like a little, like an
strawberries.
Instagram post, because it all tastes better if
Exactly.
it looks nice.
Exactly. And I don't take a picture of
Good.
it.
Well done.
I
Good for
just eat it. So that's generally my breakfast.
nice. But yeah, all going
It's
back to what we
bloody
was talking
delightful.
about. Yeah, it sounds nice. Basics
So
is
there's the
so
basics in body. What about the
basics in
basics in
body,
mind?
and then basics in mind. I think, and here's it's an interesting one, because I think people might hear what I'm about to say and think, well, I can't do all of that. But again, it's for optimal health. This isn't me saying you have to do this, because I've had someone comment to me before saying, "Oh, I listened to a podcast you did a while ago, and it was about morning routines, I think." And they were like,
Yeah.
"God, I don't have time for any of that." It's like, well, that's fine. That ain't a problem at all.
Yeah.
Pick and choose. And again, I'm not saying that I do some of all these things every single morning without fail. There's days when I don't stick to my routines. Of course there is.
Yeah.
But again, it's about living, not just existing, and not just living in my opinion, living to a schedule every single day. That for me, that doesn't work. But for the mind, what I would suggest, I would personally, fundamentals for me are some form of meditation every day, if possible. I would say get out in nature. Definitely, I'm a massive advocate of that. I would say journal, write things down to some degree. And again, you can go into this massively. Like me and you answer quite a lot of questions in the journals we use.
Yeah.
I would suggest, as a minimum, at the end of every day, write down the good stuff that's happened. Just write down. I've started making lists on my phone now, just wins lists. So as I do something, I write it on the list, and at the end of the day, read through. Because how easy is it to get to the end of the day and you think, fuck me, I've had a bad day today. I've done nothing. I've been so unproductive, and you feel shit, don't you? Because
I even caught up in tomorrow before the day is even gone.
Thinking about tomorrow before the day's gone, waiting for the next moment, because the one that you're doing is you don't like enough.
Fucking tomorrow I've got to do this. You just finished the last task of the day, then you're like, tomorrow I've got to do this. I've got to do that. I've got to do this.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So I do that. So I write a list, and I think everyone should do that. Write a list of just all the stuff that you've achieved, that you've done in that day. And it sounds a bit out there. Sounds a bit, well, what's that going to do? But it's a wicked task, because at the end you're like, Jesus, I've actually done all of these things today, and all I can remember in my head is doing nothing. I feel like I've done nothing. You know what I mean? And that plays a massive part in confidence, in having that sense of achievement. You know what I mean?
Self-worth,
fulfillment, self-worth. And then that's just one thing that can be combined with meditating, other types of journaling.
Momentum. That sexy word people love, motivation.
Motivation.
No, when I got no motivation, you haven't even seen any results that you've done. You've never seen anything or paid attention to anything that you've done good at.
Success is the biggest motivator, mate. There's a little 3-word quote. Success, 4 words, is the biggest motivator. And if you don't realize the success you're having, how are you going to feel motivated? How are you going to ever think, oh man, what I'm doing is working? You're never going to.
It's the same with food, isn't it? When you talk about you don't really look back, pardon me, and see what you've done, and say the same as food. Like you'll know this, like being a PT as well. Like you're like, oh, what you had to eat today, and I can't remember half the fucking stuff. They'll start off to be like, oh well, I didn't have any breakfast. All I've had is Yorkshire pudding for tea, and then you'd be like, what else you had? Oh, I had a Yorkshire pudding with bangers and mash. Or what else you had? Oh, actually, I tell a lie. I had a Pop-Tart for breakfast. What else you had? Well, nothing else. Oh, coffee. Obviously, coffee. Yeah, what did you have with coffee? Oh, yeah, I had a biscuit. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, it turns into this big thing. It's the same with wins. Like, you look back and you forget all of the fucking good stuff that you've done, unless you look back properly and have a good look. And then you're like, oh, actually, I've had a fucking good day today. And you can go to bed knowing that you've had a good day. Go to bed knowing you've had a good day. That means you're less likely to be worried about tomorrow. And then when tomorrow wakes up, you wake up thinking you're going to have a good day, because it's going to be quite a reflection of yesterday. And then things start to span on from there.
So simple and so basic, but makes a massive difference.
And a lot of the things that, like, as you were naming those things off, like, how many years can you trace them back, man?
Yeah.
Meditation or breath work, whatever you want to call it. Like, You can trace that back thousands and thousands of years.
There's a reason.
Writing stuff down.
Yeah.
Thousands and thousands of years ago.
Do you know this book? Tribe of Mentors.
No, I think I've heard of it. I've never read it.
I've talked about it a few times on here. I think it's basically.
That looks a bit big for me. That.
No. Don't worry, mate. Don't worry. Because
there's a lot of pictures. Is there a picture on every slide?
No. What it is Tim Ferriss, who done 4 Hour Work Week. He interviewed about 100 or so people who are successful in some way, shape, or form, right? And he asked them all the same 8 or 9 questions, and they all give their answers. And one of them is something like tell us about your routines or something like that, right? And almost.
And for the listeners, Phil has a book 10 times the depth of the Bible, and he's like flicking through the pages as if he's going to find this one interview.
No. So listen, look.
It's about 4 inches thick, that book, man.
Yeah, but look, there's all it is it starts every so few pages, right? There's a new. He starts like here's a new guy. So this will go on for like 3 pages. It's 3 pages each interview. Moron. So then,
so he designed the 4 Hour Work Week in the 495-hour book to read.
Mate, you know how you read the Daily Stoic and you read one entry every day.
If everyone can read,
oh my God.
If everyone can just work 4 hours a week, then they can spend the rest of the week.
I don't know why I even bothered getting that book off the shelf. For fuck's sake.
No,
anyway,
I know what you mean.
It's a good book, man. It's a good book, and I'll read one of those entries every single day. It takes me 2 minutes, right? 2 minutes. And nearly all of the people in there talk about meditating. All of them.
Yeah.
No, nearly all of them. Right? So it goes to show it's important. Right, bollocks to that. Move on. Let's go on to the next thing.
No, hang on a second. You can't skip meditation when I've just showed you who's the fucking master meditator is.
Go on then. Yeah, you've done well. Yeah, you've done well lately. You've done. Yeah, it's quite weird, that, isn't it? I know. Half an hour of proper calm on that app that we use.
Yeah.
Mm.
Master
You
meditator.
cheated, mate. I reckon you just put that headband somewhere, like put it in the fridge.
In a nest.
Yeah.
In a crow's nest. Just heard Alan tweeting on them.
Yeah.
You know, when I'm actually out on the walks, I hear some of them tweets, I'm like,
yeah.
They're like, pick you up, I'm like,
yeah. People are going to listen to this.
Like, I'm heading in the right direction.
Yeah. People are going to think this and have not got a clue what we're talking about right now. Muse headband. If everyone's got a Muse headband, then they'll know, because the Muse app is all about birds tweeting and stuff like that. But yeah.
So we've done body, mind. What about the soul? I love the soul at the minute.
Outdoors again. Outdoors again, 100%. Outdoors, find the place that you love. It's either being in the woods or even better than that, being by the sea. I love being by or water, rivers and sea.
Sounds like a place, doesn't it? Being by the sea. It's like Southend on the sea and being by the sea.
Shut up. Have you ever been in thought of going into comedy, mate? Because with gags like that, fucking hell. Being by the sea.
Oh, then. So being in nature.
Being in nature, surrounding yourself with good people, decent mates, like proper mates. Do you know what I mean? Spending family time, a lot of family time, meaningful relationships, and all of that.
Sexy time.
100% is massively important. I think. Do you?
Oh, for the soul, definitely. Again, how many years can you trace it back? Only to the start of time.
Yeah.
Only the start of time.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely agree with that. Yeah. Good food again.
You love.
Eating good food again. Doing things you love. And not restricting yourself too much.
Yeah.
I mean, not restricting yourself too much. Not living a life of. I wrote something yesterday about. I think it was in an email. Endure. People use the word endure quite a lot when it comes to. What are you laughing at?
I used to say that weird.
Yeah, how do you say endure? Yeah, that's not right, is it? Endure. People endure too many things. I've got to endure.
That's when someone breaks the arm, man. They injure themselves.
Oh yeah, endure. It's weird. It's weird, isn't it? We're never going to agree on this, mate.
So when they endure what?
Samage. Using the word, too many people use the word endure or enduring when it, like in the context of healthy bloody habits and that. Oh, yeah, I'm having to really endure this diet. Do you know what I mean? Oh, I've got to work out. It's I've got to endure it. You know what I mean? And that word is about forcing yourself to do things, finding loads, having to have loads of motivation, loads of discipline, loads of willpower. That's not life, I don't think.
Not force, flow, not force, isn't it?
Flow, not force, mate.
There you go.
Correct. Yeah. So
let
for
the
the
flow
soul,
be with you.
Let the flow be with you. Yeah. Trying to think of more witty flow-related puns in, and I can't think of any.
They definitely were flowing.
Yeah, definitely no.
Yeah. So soul. What else did I think there's only one more important thing. So we mind, body,
soul,
soul, and I think the only other important thing is energy.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, everything that I have mentioned
Provides
energy. Yeah. Sleep is a massive energy provider. Exercise is an energy provider, but also a massive energy killer. And I don't think people realise this. I did a post about this yesterday. People who think they need to train like maniacs every single day, actually, and then wonder why they're so tired all the time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well done, mate.
Why you can actually get ill as well, isn't it? There's that open window, that J curve effect of, especially like during like HIIT and things like that, and crazy intense, like where you're doing like 80%, 90% of what you can do. Like people are like, oh, I'm doing it for health, and I'm like, well, you've just, by doing that crazy workout, going absolutely ballistic, you've just actually lowered your immune system.
Precisely, stress hormones are massively up, and that's fine here and there. I'm not saying don't train hard. But if you're doing that all the time, your body can't cope with it. It's just constant. It's just adding more stress to an already probably, stressful life, stressful state. And that's not good. I used to know people that would go to this class. It was 3 hours long, like a 3-hour high intensity class. I can't think of anything worse. I don't know why that's not good for you. Oh, look, I burnt 1,000.
I used to do double metafits, like, but that was only an hour still.
Even still, like people come out, I've burnt 1,000 calories in this workout. That's very, very good. But look at the state of you now. Look how buggered you are. You're going to go home and just flop onto your sofa and do nothing for the whole day, and then spend the rest of the week moaning to everyone how much you're aching. Yeah. Oh, I'm aching so much. It's great, isn't it? Is it? You can't even walk up the stairs, pal.
Or start saying I'm aching so much, it means I need more food.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So then I end up out eating everything that they've done anyway.
Yeah, I'm recovery eating. I need all this.
If it's not that, it's because they're tired. So because they're tired, they're emotional and start eating anyway.
Yeah. Mad, isn't it? I think people have got health and fitness a lot of people look very, very, very wrong, in my opinion. I think they sometimes take it to the point where it becomes what was supposed to be a positive and a solution to problems becomes massive negative, you know?
Yeah.
That's not cool, is it?
There's a lot of overwhelm around training and all of that, isn't there? Like there's so much information and all of that stuff. I went for a sunbed in the winter, like to keep myself topped up, and I got myself some more minutes the other day. And I went for a sunbed, and I was talking to the woman as I walked in. She was like, "Oh, I'm just downloading this MyFitnessPal thing. Have you heard of that?" And I was like, "I'm a personal trainer, of course I have." And she was like, "Oh, how do I go on with it?" And that. And I was telling her little bits and bobs about it. And I was like, "Why don't you just because she was saying she couldn't be bothered with tracking all of this and like putting every recipe in." And because I was telling her that you got to, if you make a chili con carne, you got to put the onions in. You got to put all that in. She's like, "Oh, I can't be bothered to track that." I says, "Look, why don't you track the only thing that matters?" She was like, "What's that?" "I want calories." She was like, "What do you mean? What are them?" And I'm like, she's about 50. And I'm like, again, we're going back to basics. Some people don't even know the fucking basics. No. Everything around all these diets or everything is basically around calories. And I says, all you have to do, right, is you have a set amount. So your body requires a certain amount of calories. Say it's 1,500. All you got to do is eat less. So say eat 1,200 instead. And then all you do is look at the back of the packet. It tells you you're having a packet of crisps. 100 calories, right? 1,200, take away 100, that's 1,100 left. I'm going to have a McDonald's, Big Mac, 600 calories, whatever, take away 600, God fucking, I don't know, 500 left. And then when you get to zero, you're not allowed any more food. I didn't know it was that simple. I was like,
basics.
That's it.
Basics.
I was like, imagine you get paid £1,200 a day, right? Once you've spent that 1,200 quid, you get 1,200 tomorrow. I went, but if you go over, then you're going to end up like if you've spent your 1,200, you're going to overdraft.
Yep.
You end up in debt, right? I went, that debt's just fat. I went, so what we do is we're trying to pay back all that debt. So instead of having 1,500 calories, you have 1,200, and every day you pay back 300 quid off your debt, i.e. get skinnier.
Yeah.
She was like, oh my God. And then I give her a little pitch and I went, why don't you use my app? It's more easier.
Yes.
Why don't you use my app? It's easier.
Yeah.
So then I jumped in the sunbed, and as I was coming out, I was like, I says, I'll sign you up when I get off the sunbed. So I'll jump on the sunbed, got back off. She's sitting there with another woman. Tell her what you just told me.
Yes.
and they're both like Slimming World as, you know what I mean? They're like up and down, they're all in all. And I'm like, you can count all these sins, you can count all these fucking all that shit. Why don't you just count that one fucking thing that matters?
Simple and basic.
I went, you understand,
again, it? Yeah. It's simple and basic stuff again, but I think again people don't realise, do they? They don't realise that it can be that simple.
You learn your values of calories as well, like that. So like,
yeah, you do. Yeah.
So I was talking to one of my clients yesterday, and she was having them what the Belvita breakfast bars or whatever.
Yeah.
They're like nearly 300 calories, like 280 odd calories. And I'm like, would you spend 280 quid on those?
Yeah.
No, or would you rather spend 280 quid on scrambled egg on toast?
Well, would you spend 280 quid if you're only allowed to spend 1,200 in a day? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You wouldn't spend it on that, would you? Yeah.
Exactly. You want to get the most bang for your buck. You want to get the so if you're spending 300 quid, you want to get the most food out of that 300 quid as you can.
Too right, mate. Yeah, too right. Eat some Cheerios.
Basic again.
Yeah. Basics. It's all basics. Yeah.
Basic maths.
And the thing is, though, like,
like people want to go like, oh, so I need to have how many scoops of protein, how many fat burners a day, how many? You need fucking none of that until you can get a 6-pack without it.
Yeah.
Like,
no.
The trouble is, you can get a 6-pack material by just counting your calories, and that's it. I've done it 1,000 fucking times.
The thing is, people don't like following basic protocols because when they fail, which a lot, they work. But also when they fail, it's like, well, this is so simple. No one likes to fail a simple program. So if they follow something that's dead, hard and complicated, then there's a reason, there's an excuse that, it's too complicated. It was too life invasive, weighing out all my macros. It's too much. And it is too much.
Even that, isn't it? It's like, people talk about macros. Fuck the macros, just count the calories.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
If you can't count the calories, you can't count the calories, the protein, the fats, and the carbs.
No.
Come on.
No.
Come on. Just fucking
who wants to do that anyway? Who wants to do that?
Exactly.
What average Joe blogs? And I'd include me in that because I'm not a fizzy. I'm not trying to get anywhere and like compete or whatever. Who wants to spend their days in the kitchen weighing out grams and working out grams of fat, protein, and carbs?
Yeah.
That is not living, is it? Come on, man. No. Way more important than interesting things to be done.
Especially when it's not necessary.
It's not even necessary. I know. It's not even necessary. Yeah. There you go. Anyway, basics. Yeah, very important.
Even talking about that basics where you're saying people don't want to go wrong with the basics and they want this extreme things and added things there like that they can blame. If you're just doing the basics, it's so much easier to see where you're going wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Because there's not loads of variables that
you're like, what could go wrong? Like, if you think about that calorie situation, what could actually go wrong? So maybe I worked my calories out wrong. 1. I went over. 2.
Yeah.
I'm a bit tired, so I may have went crazy under. 3. That's about it, right?
That's about it, yeah.
What else can go wrong?
Yeah, nothing can, yeah.
Like, other than your miscalculations.
And it's also one of those things.
Or you didn't write it down. Like, there's nothing really can go wrong.
It's also one of those things, you've either done it or you haven't. You've either hit 1,500 calories or you haven't. And that's it. Yeah, I know. Basics. So, yeah, basics are important. Basics are the foundation of getting any kind of result. And I think until you've mastered that, there's no point trying anything else. In fact, there's not even any point trying anything else anyway. It's just get the basics done. But then once you've mastered them, then you can go up to the next level with some more complicated stuff. Like some of the stuff with like taping your mouth up when you go to bed.
Which I don't recommend.
What a stupid idea. Anyway.
In the name of science, so they say.
In the name of science, yeah. Self-experiments. Anyway, good.
Right, I've had a blast.
I've had a blast. Blast with an R.
Basic blast. Fed the soul. Had fun.
Right, mate.
Another thing. So we wrap it up there. If you have, as always, any questions for us whatsoever, whether it's mindset related, anything at all, if you just want to ask us a general question, get to know us a little bit better, then fire your question over to our beautiful, easy to remember email address at doescontainnnuts@hotmail.com. That's doescontainnnuts@hotmail.com. Just so Phil can fucking drum it into his bloody head.
You sounded like some sort of 1950s radio advert. Does contain nuts at hotmail.com. That's does contain nuts at hotmail.com. How very well spoken. Well done.
Hey.
Anyway, good chat, man. Good chat. I'm Phil Highland.
I'm Lee Hogarth. Share the shit out of this, bitches. Peace.
Peace.